everyone. I'm gonna start doing the Wangan. I think I'm saying that right. The Wangan Midnight series. Uh, no better way to start it than with the Devil Z itself. So here we have a Nissan 240Z, and let's get straight into it. Apparently, I can't open up the car. So yeah. Of course, there's like a few details that aren't 100% right. Like, the fenders should not be black; they should be blue. And I know that this front bumper is gray and not chrome, but there is a way to fix that, and I'm going to tell you how to do that in this video. I will tell you how to do that. Don't worry, I'll do it. And then and if you want to do it this way and get this beautiful custom blue color, I'll tell you how to do that too. Starting with the build, we're gonna do build, we're gonna do tune, we're gonna do some highway pulls, and there is a neat little map that I found that someone made. We're gonna do that too. How this series kind of came to be, because this is gonna be a series. Hopefully, actually, we'll see how the first 3 episodes we do are. We're gonna start with the Devil Z, like right now. Then we're probably gonna do Blackbird, and maybe the R32. We're gonna start with those 3, and we're gonna see how the series does from there. Because, and like another thing is, I don't want to milk this too hard, because I did the initial D series, did great for my channel 2 years ago, and like I've had my ups and downs since then, of course. But then I decided recently, like this year in 2024, I'm gonna do a modern initial D series. That would be cool. Absolutely slaughtered my views. Like, I was getting really like decent amount of views and everything for a channel with as few subs as mine. Got important things going on, but I need to respond to a text message. Yeah, like, I have 300 subscribers, you know, the 10% rule. 30 views is about average. I was getting 30 minimum, like plus that on some videos. The modern initial D series had a strong start, great start, but like after the first 2 episodes, absolutely slaughtered my channel. Views were down on those videos especially, but even other videos, and it was just like, oh no. So I finished that out, saw it through. We're starting anew here with the Wangan Midnight series, and we're gonna see where this takes us. And if this series absolutely like my channel's down for the count. Now if this fully kills it, I don't know what I'm gonna do. But let's get straight into it. So yeah, build, tune, show you how to make it look the way it does, and we're gonna take it for a drive. And I realized I clicked on the wrong thing. So, beginning with the build. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. How this series came to be, I got rambling there for a second, is that I did an event with some buddies. Well, not even an event. I was playing with some old friends that I used to do like events and stuff with. We were just screwing around doing highway pulls or whatever. There's me, them, some of their friends and stuff, like Hellcats and Porsches, this and that. I was in the middle of watching Wangan Midnight at the time, and I was like, it'd be cool if I made the Z. So that's what I did. And I showed up and they were clowning me so hard. And then I ended up whooping on them. And there's one crucial reason for that. It's because this thing is so freaking lightweight compared to all their like Trackhawks and Hellcats that are boats on wheels. And of course all the other stuff, so like a Corvette there, I know there's a Camaro, a lot of muscle cars. So yeah, I made this car, then I was like, oh yeah, that's kind of cool or whatever. They told me to do the Wangan Midnight series back then, but I was already doing the modern initial D stuff, so I wanted to finish that before I started this. Okay, now that that's out, we can actually get into what we're doing. For the engine swap, because as you may know, this comes stock with an L24. I put in a 2.6 liter inline 6 twin turbo, which is an RB26. And I know in the show it has an L28, which is an inline 4 2.8 twin turbo. But the issue with that is there is no 2.8 engine. The closest you're going to get is the 2JZ, which is a 3.0 inline 6, or the RB26, which is a, oh no, did I say that the L28 was an inline 4 earlier? I meant inline 6. The L28 is a 2.8 liter inline 6. And L24 is the same thing, like 2.4 liter inline 6. Cool. L28 comes from 280Z, L24 comes from the 240Z. Just figured I'd clear that. So I went with the RB because there is no L28, there's not even a 2.8 liter. So I went with the RB. It's the closest thing I could find. And for drivetrain, rear wheel drive of course. For the body kit, the Forza wide body. And I know that it's, like I said earlier, the fenders aren't blue. They're supposed to be blue because they are in the show. Can't do that on here. Sorry. And the front bumper, I don't even want to try to say that. That front bumper. Because the stock one's not quite right. That's weird. That's ugly. No. And no, obviously that's not quite right either. This is the closest front bumper in the game, is that one. Rear wing, you want the Rocket Bunny, like ducktail. Then just stock rear bumper and stock hood. Moving on, for the tires, I went with drag tires. And the reason I did, originally I had the slick tires. But I am underpowered here compared to most cars that are doing highway pulls. I am very underpowered. But drag tires, I get a little more grip off the launch. I don't get as much wheel spin, so I just kind of grab. And most of the other highway cars that I've encountered do run drag tires, to be fair. So yeah, drag tires, and the car does still handle fine. I made sure of that when I tuned it. So yeah, 225mm front tires, 265mm rear tires. For the wheels, they I believe are in the sport rim style, right? Nope. In multi-piece. In the multi-piece rim style, you have the Rotiform MLWs. These are the closest I can find to the Watanabes. Closest I could find. Then 14-inch wheels, front and back. I already did aero, I don't know what I'm doing. Drivetrain, race clutch, race transmission, race driveline, race differential. Moving on here, we have race brakes, race suspension, race front anti-roll bars, race rear anti-roll bars, race weight reduction, I believe no roll cage. Yeah, no roll cage. Then we have the race intake, race fuel system, race ignition, race exhaust, race cam, race valves, race twin turbo, because remember I said earlier this car is a twin turbo, no anti-lag though. Race pistons, race block, race intercooler, race oil and cooling, and finally the race flywheel. Moving forward to the tune, you want tire pressure 19 in the front, 15 in the rear. 211 miles per hour, which is pretty good. I think in the show that was like the whole thing, right? They wanted 200 plus. I remember something about that too. 200 plus. Or was that the GTR, the red one? I don't know. Regardless, they were going 200 miles per hour. I know that much. 2.20 final drive. The gearing, I'm not 100% on if I altered this or not. I built this car a long time ago. It might be stock, might not be. If yours doesn't match this, pause the video, match it up, and then hit resume. For the alignment, camber 2.0 in the front, 1.5 in the rear. Toe 0.5 in the front, negative 0.8 in the rear. Angle for the front caster is 5.6. For the anti-roll bars, 25 in the front, 15 in the rear. Springs, in the front 328.7, in the rear 256.6. For the ride height, 4.8 in the front, 5.9 in the back. Damping, rebound stiffness 8.3 in the front, 8.8 in the rear. For the bump stiffness, 3.2 in the front, 3.8 in the rear. Aero, you should not have that. Didn't say to put that on. It's kind of awkward if you got it. For the braking, 47% towards the rear and 67% pressure. Differential, 70% acceleration, 47% deceleration. On one thing I'd like to add is, of course there's tunes to make this build faster. Okay, there are tunes to make it faster. But what I'm gonna say to that is, I still wanted this car to be able to, like, you could pull up on a race or whatever and like do your races in it. It still turns and all that stuff. It still does all that. And another key factor is when I was doing that and we were all screwing around on the freeway, S1 was our limiter. Of course, there's different engine swaps and stuff you could do to get this S2. I'm aware. But S1 was our cap. We needed S1 cars, nothing higher. Plain and simple. And now to make the car look the way it does, I'm gonna start by how to make it look like mine with the gray bumper. Then I'm gonna tell you guys how to make it with the chrome bumper, which either way it's still pretty easy. For the colors, you want to go over to special colors and scroll on down until you get to this green. Then on that you're gonna want to hit X to alter the dual color fine tune. For the low light, you want 0.67. For saturation, you want 1.0, and brightness 0.15. Then for highlight, 0.67 hue, saturation 1.0, and brightness 0.41. So that gets you this blue color. And for the wheels, go over to special colors. I'm just gonna do it with the mouse, and you want the steel semi-gloss. Windows, of course, tint them black. Then yours is essentially gonna look like this. It's still gonna be blue there. So anyway, what you're gonna do is you're gonna get yourself a nice little square, and you're gonna paint this gray. One of these grays, whichever gray you would prefer. It's got to be gray. And here, I'm gonna leave this one white so I can see it in comparison to my already gray one. You're gonna want to move it over. You're gonna want to shrink it on down and just kind of adjust it, both in size and position, to the point that, there you go, it covers the chrome, or what should be gray, or what is still, it covers the bumper piece. That was awkward on my part. I'm sorry, guys. Anyway, so yeah, covers the bumper piece there. Do that on both sides, and of course do it on the front of the car. Just yeah, adjust it in size, position, all that fancy stuff. Voila, there we go. There it is in the front. Then alternatively, to do it the other way, when you want, if you want the chrome bumper, is what you want to do. You want to paint this car chrome. You want to paint the whole thing chrome, which is under special colors. You bring it on down, and you do it chrome. The chrome doesn't quite match. Or no, this is steel. Where's chrome? There we go. So you paint the whole car chrome. I'm not gonna do that, but I'm gonna tell you how to do it as if I were. As if this car was chrome. Pretend it's chrome. So anyway, you paint your car chrome, then you just get a vinyl square, and you kind of want to match, you kind of want to do the midnight blue kind of color. So I'd say once you're on your color page, you want to come on down to the second row, or like, I don't know if you want to count this as blue. It's kind of like teal. I'd say this is the first row of blue, this is the second row of blue. So you want to come down to the second row of blue, or even the third. You can use any of these 4 blues right here. Any 4 of these will work. Okay, so I'm gonna do that. You're gonna want to cover the entire car, the whole car in this blue. The entire thing. I cannot emphasize this enough. Cover the entire car in this blue color. The side, the left side, the back, the top, the front, and the right side in that blue. And then what you want to do is, like I said earlier, same way of putting the color on the bumper, except you want to use a mask shape. So what this mask shape does, as you'll see as soon as I get over to this gray part on the bumper, is it kind of hides any vinyls. It lets the paint poke through. That's essentially what that does. And you're just going to want to line that up with the bumper, which is kind of hard for me to do considering that my car is still blue. For you guys that painted the car chrome, that whatever is under that mask shape will be chrome. Just for me it's blue because I didn't paint the car. Yeah, essentially you just want to do the same thing that I said earlier. Get your squares, match them up, adjust the position and the size to be on that front bumper, and you should have a chrome front bumper. Me on the other hand, I like the blue that I made custom color a little more than that chrome bumper. It's of less importance. So now that we're done with that, let's get to driving. You know what, we got a free daily spin. We're gonna do that real quick. Daily spin in the video. Oh, man, I always get crappy. 40,000 isn't bad, but I also have 110 million. So let's do a pull or 2, maybe 3. I don't know. So essentially, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna launch this thing. We're gonna get to like roughly 200 to maybe top speed a couple times, see how long it takes, plain and simple. And obviously it's not the fastest accelerating car in the world because it's a freaking Nissan. Another thing is it's only S1. It kind of stops accelerating quick once you get to around 190, and it kind of slows down a bit. But for like, as long as you're not racing from end to end on the highway, it's fine. If you're just doing pulls or whatever, like from a dig, or even rolling, to be honest, let's do a 40 roll. Can you guys see the car lunge? Yeah, so see, like, we did a rolling, yeah. We did a pull from a 40 roll, we did a pull from a dig. It's not bad. Like, if you're just doing short distance, or even not even short distance, semi-medium distance, we'll call it. Medium distance, you're cool. As long as you're not racing from end to end on the friggin' freeway, you're fine, because those Hellcats are gonna go like 230. But you're gonna accelerate way faster. But one course I found that's cool, and I'll give you guys the share code, of course. What am I doing? Okay, event lab. Can I go my events, or is that only going to show mine? My history? Okay. I might have to. Blueprints. My favorites. Here we go. Ah, here we go. It is the C1 Wangan TA. Can I? It is made by this guy here. Shout out this guy. I'm not even gonna try to say that, so I don't want to butcher dude's name. But shout out to this person. They made a great track. I love it. I use it all the time. Can I? Share code. Share code for this track is 109-906-061. One more time. It's 109-906-061. So, because of time's sake, I think this course's like default race is 2 laps. For time's sake, we're gonna do 1 because this video's been dragging, and I don't want to keep you guys too long. Because I feel like once you exceed around 20 minutes on a video, which we may have been going for that long, once you exceed about 20 minutes, which I definitely have, people are more hesitant to click on the video, and then I know you guys might get bored and stuff like that. So we're gonna do 1 lap. Yeah, see, default's 2, so we're gonna do 1. Okay, just a little tap. I haven't driven this course in a while, but I drove it quite frequently for a minute there. That's entirely my fault. I was thinking of what I wanted to say, and I remember now. So what I wanted to say was, when I was thinking about it, and instead of driving, so this course, it says to go first person to enjoy it better, which is true. I've driven this in first person, and that is because some of the areas in the visuals get a little wonky looking in third person. But I'm gonna stay in third person for the purposes of the video. Like right here, see, you can see that the city is floating over there in third person. In first person, you might not be able to see that as much. Okay, here we go. Here's our little pole here. I drove this course with my buddies that day too, when I was talking about us doing the freeway pulls and everything earlier. I drove this course as well. We had a good time on here. Things got a little hectic because there may have been a few too many of us for this course. I recommend no more than like 4. 5 at the most. You get more than that, things get really friggin' hectic on here. Just because of how narrow like certain parts are, like the on-ramps. That right there is my fault. I should have braked a little sooner and a little harder. Excuse my poor driving, guys. Sorry about it. I haven't driven this car or course in some time, but yeah. I made the car, I want to say, back in like May of 2024. Haven't driven it too much since, and the course, I want to say last time I drove it very well could have been like June. Or no, July. 100% July, but I wasn't in this car. So I remember driving it around my birthday. I think it might have been the day before, the day of. what we're gonna do is we're gonna call it right there. As far as this video goes, we're gonna get to a little more of an open spot real quick though, so I could do donuts. So we're gonna call it about right there with one lap, because I know this video is getting lengthy. So anyway, we're gonna do some donuts, 'cause that's how we end all the videos around here. This place is a little compact, so oh boy. Okay, there we go. We're still scraping the wall a little bit. Yeah. Not ideal for donuts, but donuts are getting donuted. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. Hope to see you in the next video, and that is all for me today.